excited to make this presentation and to do this interview.
Well, and I am so happy that you are able to join us. We're going to try to get a recording here for you too, so that we will make sure we get it up on the Mixcloud as a podcast, right? Okay.
You got me confused after you said podcast.
I know. It's okay. It's everything's good. We're all happy. The problem that I'm having right now is you sound very faint to me. So if you want to speak up a little, that'd be great.
Okay, I'll speak up. How's that? Is that better?
A little bit, not much.
Okay, I can hear you really good.
Oh, am I shouting? Ooh, a lot of feedback.
It says we're on video, so they can't hear me. I'm getting some messages.
Yeah, I am too. No, yeah, they're not able to, so I don't know what's going on. We've got the tech man flying, so he's going to get us done.
Okay.
Okay, is that better?
I don't know. I can hear you really good, but I don't know if you can hear me.
You sound okay, but it's faint. It's faint.
I'll try my best.
I know you will. So we're going to go ahead with the show then. And this is Laura Paget, KUHSdenver.com, Artist Nook. And we are on live, which I haven't done before, and Henry's helping. And we have Albert Quintana from, what is the name of your town in Oklahoma, over there, Edmond?
I live in Edmond, Oklahoma, suburb of Oklahoma City, about 12 miles to the north of Oklahoma City, a little south, about 40 miles from the University of Oklahoma. Stillwater.
Stillwater. Oh boy, yeah, that's my husband's alma mater, OSU. I know. So I want to tell the audience who you are in relationship to KUHS, because some people may not know that a couple of years ago, actually probably about 2.5 now, you were actually the host of this show, which was then called the Author Hour, right?
Actually, it was
Connection. That's right. And then you and I had kind of a meeting of the minds, and Uncle Henry decided that it would be excellent for me to take the show when you went to Oklahoma and took the well, first you took a leave of absence, then you went ahead and moved there. So, and I brought it as the Artist Nook because I wanted to include more than authors, musicians, fine artists, and all kinds of people, which we've done. So I was interested in why, if you would tell people why you moved to Oklahoma. This is important, I think.
Go ahead and preface that, talk a little bit about the people I interviewed.
Yes.
During my at KUHS Connection. I was able to interview Miss Laura Paget.
Who?
Her beautiful book, with her book, with Dolores Like the River.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very, very, very impressed with her presentation of her book. And when it was time for me to leave to Oklahoma, I decided and prayed about this, and voila, you have the Artist Nook with Miss Laura Paget.
Yes, and it's been a delight. And I have to tell you that probably one of the biggest connections we have, not only as artists, but we have a connection as Christians, and we're not ashamed of that. We don't mind folks knowing that we depend on our Lord for everything, and certainly our relationship, I think, was brought about by Him. And you wrote a book that I liked, No More Green Chili. And before that, you had written A Teacher Grows Up in Commerce City. So when your third book came out, which is just like now, you contacted me and we said, let's get him on the show because we want to help do a launch for this if we can. And we're going to talk about that book today. And I've got to ask Uncle Henry. I'm a rookie, friend, so please, please bear with me. This is the book. Am I doing good, Uncle Henry? Uncle Henry says I'm doing good. He's not growling, so I guess I'm working. And this is the book that we're talking about, The Crochet Lady. So, would you give me and our audience a thumbnail sketch of The Crochet Lady, your third book? Just give us a sketch of what it's about.
Well, it has something to do with the important people in our life. And the Crochet Lady, the fiction of one of the most fascinating, grandiose ladies that I came in, and she is the mother of my wife.
Right.
Her name is, and she, what it does, it starts with the of her being at the gravesite of her father, Juan Pablo.
Okay.
He was at 5 months old, in distress, whatever you want to say. She was in a situation at 5 months old. Her mother didn't know what to do.
Oh dear.
Her husband had just purchased land at Lojito.
Mm-hmm.
It is located 15 miles around from the valley.
Uh-huh.
Her mother and her new father's stepfather decided to and a logging lumber mill was a place that built a stepfather they put it together and it all starts with her message as a 6-year-old in first grade where she heard a legend of White Mountain.
Right.
White Mountain was a legend, and she dreamed about White Mountain as being her knight in shining armor. The work was so grueling, and she wanted a special person to be her knight in shining armor. So I'm not going to say any more about that part there because
good.
I pretty much got the rest.
Yeah. So we don't want to give the book away.
It was in her last days. No, we don't want to give her the book away.
No, we want them to buy it. Yeah. Okay.
Her last days, and she couldn't do too much. So the white raised her from hard and
Yeah. Okay. Henry, I'm hoping Henry will come in here. Yeah, because I can't hear you, Al, at all right now. So hopefully Henry will come and fix this. But I am going to ask a question, and that is, would you tell us about writing this story and the promise about writing it? I think that's very important.
Well, kind of like, I don't know, but my father is, I'm not the other group of my father, they, my mom, you know, how going to be able to make it from
You can hear him.
living. Notice that I wrote this book about my mother's loss in her family. And she too said, Albert, I want you to write my story.
Right.
So it was from a promise that I was able to crochet late.
Right.
Randy, you story too, Laura.
What's that?
There's that, or there's an individual that I serve for, and somebody that we can look up to, kind of like gives us that inspiration
Yes.
to succeed and to be good role models to other people.
Right.
And that's my background. That's my background. I'm a teacher, art teacher, and I was able to try to be the mentor, that role model to all the students that I touch.
Right.
I still do this today, and I work with my cousins,
Uh-huh.
my children, my grandchildren, and that is all.
Right. Right. Um, so as I've read your books, Albert, I've noticed that you do weave several themes in family history, cultural history, ethnicities, and the things that bind us together as families, but bind us together as people, communities. And I wanted to ask you about how important that is for you to continue to put forward the love you have for your family, your people, your culture.
So, teacher brought us in Thomas City, here. You guys can see it there.
I can see that. Yes, I can.
That's my book cover for the first book. Teacher comes, teacher grows up in Thomas City.
And he's gone.
My life was a trial, succeeding, surviving.
I can see that. Yes, I can. I can't hear him, Henry.
We'll talk to your audience.
Right, yeah. Okay. Um, What do you want me to tell them? Well, folks, I'm sorry. I'm having a little trouble with my transmission from Albert. And as far as I know, I'm not even sure he's still on because his picture isn't up here. But Henry wanted me to tell you that. So I'm telling you that. And Al, if you're still there, he's gone. And that's unfortunate. Let's see what Henry can do with his magic here.
Just go ahead. Just
He wants me to just talk, so I'm going to just talk. But what I'm going to tell you about is this book, The Crochet Lady. And I know that's coming up there. It's really a good book. The thing about Al Quintana is he writes from his heart. His heart is on these pages, but he is very authentic. There are people who can write from their heart and give you fictitious tales, but Albert has a very special gift to give you life and his heart and love. And I think if you read this book, what you'll find, although I didn't find it, just how you would call sometimes a memoir. A lot of people don't like to read memoirs because they're kind of boring. But the way he has structured this, I found as an artist and an author, I found it to be extremely interesting. He goes back and forth from reality to the past. And the woman, the lovely lady is, I think, I hate to say this without Al's permission, so I'm not going to say she's suffering dementia, but she is getting older. She's forgetting things. She's having difficulty remembering, taking meds or whatever. However, one of the great things about it is she puts her words and her stories into kind of storytelling time while she's sitting crocheting at this place that is basically a senior daycare center, if you've heard of those kinds of places. So she's telling her friends about it, and her friends are listening to her fantastic stories about her life, her love, and Albert has chronicled this in a way that is unusual. So I found that very interesting. I found it to be a really, for me, it would have been a difficult thing to do because she's telling a story within a story, and he's telling her story about being at this point in her life and what is happening. The other significant thing for all you lovely crafters out there is as she makes her crocheted pieces, it's almost like she's weaving her life right in front of you to see them. Now that's, if I'm a crocheter, I'm not nearly as fast and as good as this lady is, I think, or was prior to her death. But she has a way of making this whole product come forth as she tells a story, which is also a product. And many different little stories are woven in here, as all of our lives are. And that's another thing that connects Al and I. We stay in touch and we talk. And my husband and I, when we go to Oklahoma, we have seen them, he and his beautiful wife. And what is so important about my show, The Artist Nook, which is, I've been saying it all along for 2 years, is for you to understand your story matters. Your story matters. I don't care if you publish it. I don't care if you put it in a journal and give it to your mother-in-law before she dies. I don't care if you just go to a family gathering and begin telling story about your roots, your family, your history, your country, your service, whatever, your marriage. The fact is, all of our stories matter. I actually give workshops on this, and I am giving one next Saturday, which I believe is, I can't remember the date, but it's the 18th. That's right. I'm going to be giving this at a place in East Denver called Riders on the Rock, East Denver Creatives. And that's the name of my presentation, Why Your Stories Matter. Your stories matter because it brings out something of us for other people to know. And that is true intimacy. That is relationship. For us to know each other, outside of all the stuff that the world tells us is intimacy right now. What really matters is that you and I connect on a level of, hey, you know what? This is what happened in my life. Hey, you know what? I want to share with you an incident, a tragedy, a joy, a history, a life. That's what makes us truly connected in humanity. So that workshop is the 18th. The instructions for where that will be is on my website, Laura, Laurall, Paget, PADGETT.com. I'm spelling that slowly because Henry always tells me how fast I talk. So go there, look under upcoming events, and you will see that workshop and where it is. It doesn't cost a thing to come. And I know Patricia Raybon would absolutely love to have you there, the hostess. The other thing I'd like to tell you about is that Albert's book, The Crochet Lady, is going to be launched here in Denver on the 18th, that same day. Why I can't go is because of what I just told you, my commitment to do my own presentation. But it is I believe it's at Adams City High School, but I'm sorry, we've lost our connection with Albert, and I don't have those details in front of me. But certainly get on his Facebook page and try to find that, because it's going to be his launch here in Denver. And I know he has lots of people going. I don't know the times or the location, but I believe it's Adams City High School, where he taught. So if you're interested, I'm sure you could probably get on his Facebook page and find it. In the meantime, one of the things I want to share with you right now is my next guest. And that's going to be the 17th, which is a week from today. Normally, this show is the first and third Friday, but I wanted to at least try to bring Albert to you and get his story out here and help him launch his book. He's my friend, and friendship matters. And I wanted to tell you that the woman who will be joining me next week is a children's author and a poet. So she writes fiction and nonfiction. This is a difficult thing to do, my friends. She's multi-published, multi-award winning, and I'm very humbled by this woman every time I'm in her presence because she is delightful. Her name is Laurel Jean Becker. Her book is Tales from Weaver Pond. And what she's done is she's made this tremendous little allegory about animals. And they're all so imperfect, so flawed, and so willing to admit their flaws and their imperfections, which is another thing that helps us come into intimacy in terms of, I'm not talking now about sex and all that. I'm talking about an intimacy that connects us as people, a true, deep. If you have a good marriage, you know what I'm talking about. If you have a great relationship with your children, you know what I'm talking about. It's where you can sit down and go, man, I'm so messed up, I don't know what I'm doing. And people go, yeah, I get that. And they love you anyway. And you turn those flaws, those character defects into character assets. And you move forward in unbelievable circumstances, sometimes fear, pain, rejection, sadness. That is another thing about the Crochet Lady. This woman's life is one of complete despair sometimes, yet she's still joyful. She's still creative. She's still creating, and she is still handing the world her heart in a trusting, loving way. Albert has done a good job with this book. I hope you'll enjoy it. I'm very excited about him and my next guest, Laurel Jean, and I hope you'll be with us then. And I believe you'll be very blessed by both of these books. Again, Laurel Jean's book, one of the reasons I'm going to push that at this point is just like our friend Tori, who was with us last week, Tori Kimball. When you go to shop for kids' presents, and listen to me, I am captain of the elves. I know what I'm talking about. Maybe another toy isn't the best idea. Maybe a record isn't the best idea. Records. Boy, does that date me. CDs, whatever they're listening to today. But give them life lessons of acceptance, tolerance, in integrity. So many people don't understand truth today, don't know how to tell it and justify when they don't. But this woman, both of these ladies, have written these books to hand your children, your grandchildren, great nieces, whoever's in your life, lessons about life and love, acceptance, and being human, even if you're a crazy fox that doesn't even know what he's supposed to be doing. The humanity from this book is absolutely brilliant, and I'm so grateful Laurel is going to be with us next week. She'll be here on the 17th, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, KUHSdenver.com. I'm looking at my clock. What do you think, Uncle Henry? Uncle Henry's nodding his head, which is always a good way to say, I don't know, but whatever you do, it's okay, Laura. You heard it right here. KUHSdenver.com. The Artist Nook. I'm sorry we lost our connection with Albert, but I'm very, very excited for you to check out his book. Go have a look at it. It's on Amazon. And if you can and get down to Adams City High School, you could probably call them and find out when it'll be. Give them a holler and find out when you might be able to connect with Albert Quintana. You want to meet me personally? Well, guess what? It's December. Me and the crazy elves will be all over Golden, Lakewood, and Denver, bringing the cheer, bringing the happiness, bringing the joy of the season to children of all ages. But I also will be doing a book signing the afternoon, 12:30 of December the 2nd, where I will be signing my copies of the books I've been featured in of Chicken Soup for the Soul, as well as Dolores Like the River, the book that my gracious and lovely, very generous friend Albert mentioned to you, which chronicles again hardship from victim to victor, tears to triumph, coming out of it. Because on the other side, there is going to be joy. I don't care. There's going to be joy. And that's what Albert was talking about with my book. It was such a kind promo that he did. That will be December 2nd up in Golden. Again, those details are on my webpage under upcoming events. I want to thank you for tuning in today. And I want to wish Albert every blessing and every good possible thing that can come from this book. And understand, art is not a spectator sport. So you go out and you share your heart and you share your art, because your story, my friends, matters. Take care. Bye-bye. See you next week, okay? Bye-bye.